Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Jessie and this is the Knit Up and Dye podcast, episode 77, Let It Be Enough. As always, I'm going to start with my thank yous. A special thank you goes out to all of my subscribers, new and ongoing. I love you guys. You're the reason that I do this. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, or ideas about what you'd like to see, reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Hello and welcome go out to, I've got my cheat sheet, Casey, MSK Pill, Danette, Cassandra, Elenis Crafts, Linda MC, Jenny B, and Rondika M. If I've said your call name wrong, I'm sorry. I'm doing what I can. You guys are wonderful, and thank you for adding me to your lives. Special thanks and love, as always, go out to, this is the big list, guys, Wendy, Catherine, Cindy, Lisa, Rosalie, Teresa L, Sylvie, Chris FF, Leanne, Tiffany, Joy, Susan, Wheezy, Adriana, Lemore, Wayne, Sonia, Patricia, Lisa Lette, Cappy, Kath, Benty, Christy, Neetsy, Charlotte, Chris, Roseanne, Linda, Marie, Eve, Faye, David, Donna, Betty Ann, Scott and John, Carolyn, Kate and Terry at Unwound, Bex, Nancy, and Rachel. And if I left you out, I am sorry. I love you too. Warm hello, as always, goes out to my patrons. Thank you. You honor me and you make this possible. Okay. It's been 2 weeks and you would not believe how easily I lose my flow. Doing this regularly makes it easy, it makes it a habit. Taking a little bit of time off and I am just kind of lost in doing my notes and remembering my rhythm and remembering everything that I include, and it always feels rough and I always feel a little bit embarrassed about that. I mean, I'm a professional, this is what I do. And it really touched home with me this past couple weeks. I had some people come out to me and they were talking to me about the Ornament Exchange. They were talking to me about the design along. They were talking to me about their own yarn dyeing and everything. And this theme came forward. Everyone was concerned that what they were offering was too simple. And I really, that meant a lot to me. It's a concern I share. When I design something, I often worry that it doesn't have enough pop, it doesn't have enough pow, it's not interesting enough, whether it's my yarn or my patterns, or it's a blog post that I write or an episode that I do. And when I sat down this morning to make up my notes and to sort out what I was going to say to you guys this week, I had the same problem where I was suddenly very concerned that what I offer is too simple. You keep coming back and you keep telling me you like what you see, so I'm doing something right. And it occurred to me that I need to let it be enough. And I need to remind everyone, let what is enough for you be enough. Be enough for everyone. Their opinion of you, ultimately, is none of your business. And that's one of those really icky, hard pills to swallow because we are so trained that we're supposed to be paying attention to reality TV and making sure we always look our best and are the thinnest and the richest and the most glamorous and have the coolest ideas and are never wrong. And the reality is, that what we do, if it's enough for ourselves, if it's enough for us, it's enough for everybody. It really is. And we need to really step back and maybe not be quite so sensitive. Or listen with kid ears. I was having a discussion with a number of other knitters this past week, and we were concerned about another knitter who had come forward and made a comment. And of course, it was a knitting circle, so we're all henpecking and going around with our opinions. And everybody had an idea about what had happened, and everybody had a viewpoint about what happened. And we were adults, we were speaking in a circle, and we were presenting our opinions and our ideas and looking for feedback from other people. And the closing kind of comments and assessment was that we're so busy being sensitive, whether we're being sensitive to protect other people, or to protect ourselves, or to try and make sure that everything is safe and that everything is the best possible presentation, whether it's our presentation or somebody else's. We're there to help. We're there to support each other. We're so busy analyzing and picking it apart and looking at it from different angles that maybe we're not seeing it for what it truly is. That maybe we need to look at things with kid eyes and kid ears and adopt a sense of innocence. And if a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is enough for that child, for that inner child, for that innocent point, why can't it be enough for you as an adult? And do we have to pick it apart? Do we have to say, oh, it's peanut butter and jelly. I bet she used cheap peanut butter. Ew, you know, white bread, the gluten, blah, 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 blah. How about we just go, it was enough for them, and aren't we grateful that they had it? So to that end, if you're designing something, if you're offering something for sale, if you are making yarn, making patterns, making a cake for your family, taking photos that you'd like to share, if it's enough for you, let it be enough. Don't worry about the rest of the world. Take on an air of innocence. And if somebody else starts to rip your stuff apart, oh, technology's wonderful. We have block and delete, and we can close our eyes and say, it was enough for me. And that's all that matters. I hope that we all take a little piece of this in. I'm trying to adopt this. I'm trying to take this in because my inner editor, little gremlin, he sits on my shoulder and he whispers in my ear, that's already been done. That's not enough. You're a designer. You need to do better than that. Why didn't you do this too? Go away. Go away. It's enough for me. Great example of that this week. My husband is preparing to go on a camping trip off of his motorcycle. And this is, I camp someplace that has a hot shower and a bed and a lock on my door. I'm not a camping kind of girl. I've done it. I've enjoyed myself, but my choices are not to camp. He's a camper, and he will actually load up his motorcycle and ride off into the desert and follow down squirrel paths and camp up against a tree in what we fondly refer to as the bear burrito, which is this tiny little tent that barely fits his sleeping bag. And any old bear could come along, scoop him up, peel it and eat it. And this brings him joy, and therefore I support him. It is enough for him. It is what he wants. I'm there for him all the way. In packing for his trip, he discovered that his favorite hat is missing. It was manky. I made this hat for him. It's been years now. I dare say it's been almost a decade. It was before we got married, so it's at least 7 years old. And it was just a 5-hour garter stitch hat that I knit back and forth using short row shaping on straight needles while on a trip back east where it snowed unexpectedly and we did not have proper winter gear, so I made him a hat real quick. And that became the hat. You know how little kids have the toy and oh my God, if you lose it, the whole family loses sleep? We all have our favorite shirt. We all have our favorite spot on the sofa. My husband has his favorite hat, and this hat has been everywhere with him. He can't find it. I think I know where it is. I think it's packed with his sleep gear. He often wears it at night when he's sleeping, when he's camping, to stay warm, because it's the desert and the temperatures are extreme. It'll be 108 during the day. It'll be 20 at night. He wears a hat while he sleeps. And thank goodness he does. So I think it's still in his gear, and I think he's likely to find it. But the last time he came home from a trip, we washed it. And when we washed it, I remember seeing it on the drying rack and realizing that it had seen better days. It was misshapen. It had some felting spots on it. It was thin in a couple spots. I mean, these things age. They wear out eventually. And even like that, that manky old hat, which he loves because I made it for him, is enough for him. It's missing. He's convinced that he'll find it. He is convinced that it will materialize. He's convinced that it is still good enough. He won't ask for another. I just want to knit him a hat. I just want to knit him a hat. So in a panic, because his leaving time is coming up soon and we are yet to find said hat, I went and I pulled a sample. I have a sample of a hat that is very, very close to his hat that I had knit up working up a pattern. And I've shown this to you before. I still haven't done the pattern. I know, I'll get there eventually, I promise. But it's just a back and forth garter stitch, short row shaped hat. And this one's knit in DK weight. And it does really cool things with the variegated when you use this technique. And it's a nice simple hat. It folds up and it tucks in his pocket very nicely. I pulled the sample out. It's not his colors. It's a hat. You're going to stay warm. I don't care what color it is. The bear doesn't care when he's eating you what color the hat is. It doesn't matter. But he made kind of a fuss face, and you know, well, it's your sample. You should keep that. Just ask me for another one, fool. He wouldn't. So this sat on the shelf, and he actively avoided it instead of packing. And I'll find my hat. So this morning, I went stash diving, and I found his color, and I just cast on my swatch to check my gauge. I'm going to turn this into a hat, whether he likes it or not. He's going to love it. He's going to love it, actually. This morning I did say to him, what do you think of this color? Oh, that's the color of my hat. Yes, it is. I said, so if you can't find it, I know you want to leave like next weekend. It'll only take me like 5 hours. So I'm gonna keep this handy. So how long would the hat be? So it'll only take me like 5 hours. No, how far down, how would it fit? We're getting there. So we pulled out the sample. We tried the sample on him. We determined the reason that the sample wasn't going to work for him had nothing to do with the color. It was the length. It's too long for him. That's why he was rejecting it. He wanted a hat, but he had guilt about asking for a hat and rejecting this hat. We've done our measurements. I'm going to cast on. Other projects are going to get set aside. I will pull out a 5-hour hat for him. He will pack it. He will go camping. He will be safe. He'll be warm. And the bear won't laugh at him based on the color of his hat. It's enough for him. That hat was enough for me. It wasn't enough for him. And that's okay. But he didn't want to ask for it. And sometimes when there's a need, a simple solution is the right thing. And the simple solution was fill the need. It's a really simple hat. There's nothing special about it. It's exactly what he wants. And that's what I'm going to give. Whether it's a design that you think is too basic because it's stockinette. Or it's a yarn that you think is too basic because it's a solid color. If it fills the need, if it does what you want, it's enough. Let it be enough. He's going to let this be enough. I'm going to let it be enough. To that end, of course, I wanted to give him ties, make sure it was long enough for his ears. He told me what he wanted. I'm going to let it be enough. So, knitting progress. What have I done this week? Well, I've sorted out that I'm making a hat in the very near future. Basically, all projects have been on hold. I have been working very, very, very exclusively on just one project, which you are all very familiar with. I'm working on the Barn Dance Shawl. The Barn Dance Shawl, oh, I stopped mid-row, silly me. The Barn Dance Shawl is my farmhouse shawl, but reworked to include a third color. And I'm knitting the initial sample, for photography, for the patterns, and as well as to do an initial tech and make sure that my pattern works the way I want it to. And I'm going to hold up what I can. It's all bunched up on a needle, and I stopped halfway through a row. I must have gotten distracted, probably while we were looking for the hat. Here it is. It's coming together beautifully. I am down through the lace section, and I have, oh gosh, probably 12 more rows before I do the lace edge. I'm loving it. I love the pattern. I love the design. I love the colors. I love the direction we're going in. It is coming along nicely. If you are a brave soul and you are interested in test knitting the the Barn Dance Shawl, the 3-color shawl, reach out to me and let me know. The Farmhouse Shawl, the 2-color version, which is this one, which you're also very familiar with, is out to test knitters, and they are working feverishly on it. Some people have, I've never seen a shawl knit so fast. You guys are wonderful. Other people are churning along in their own time, and I appreciate every stitch. This is not a race. This is about getting it right. And I am so grateful to my test knitters. Thank you so much for your feedback, for your time, for your concern, for your suggestions, for weathering through dropped stitches and having to think back. I'm so sorry that happened to you. You guys mean the world to me, and you are the secret to my success. You're the reason that this works, this happens, and that other people will not suffer because somebody left a typo about how many stitches. I'm human. Thank you. My test knitters are wonderful. And if you've never test knit before and you're looking at that 3-color shawl and you're going, oh, I want that. I want that for something this fall. When is she going to release that? Am I going to have time to knit it? Step forward. I'm looking for test knitters, and there is no special criteria to being a test knitter. You have to be able to knit, but outside of that, you're going to be reading my pattern and letting me know where things are too complex, where things need to be clarified, where things need more information, or where there might be a typo. That's all I'm asking for, and I am there to hold your hand every step of the way. And if you don't understand quite what I've said, or you're not experienced enough to know what I'm conveying to you or how a stitch is done, I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way, because interacting with you tells me whether or not I'm communicating clearly in my pattern. It's not about experience. I don't demand that you be an expert knitter. It's about desire to help. That's it. And of course, to finish the project. If you're interested, step forward. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Many of my test knitters were first-time test knitters on the Farmhouse Shawl, and they will attest to you that I am there to help you with this. And I'm ever so grateful for your assistance. All my other projects have been camping. My Venetian Dream sweater, which I refer to as my memoir sweater on Ravelry. I really want to get that done. I really want to get that done before my trip to Wisconsin in September. I am so excited about my trip. Every year I do a trunk show up at Unwound Artisan Yarns in La Crosse, Wisconsin. That is coming up very, very quickly. And that means I'm doing a lot of dyeing, a lot of preparation, swag bags for the brunch where you get to come meet me. We're doing a class this time, which is super exciting. I love teaching, whether it's knitting or it's dyeing. I love teaching. Obviously, I'm always showing you guys demonstrations, but we're going to do a sock blank dyeing class, and we're going to go over a number of different techniques. We're going to have all kinds of tools available. I'm going to talk to you about how to achieve these techniques, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to dye those up in whatever tickles the students' fancy, and they get to take home a hand-dyed, self-dyed, their art sock blank. And whew, I love this kind of stuff. I love it. I look forward to that so much. Very, very, can you tell I'm excited? And just being able to interact with the shop patrons, the shop owners, and be in the town up there. I love La Crosse. It's such a beautiful little town. And travel, and although travel's a weird thing, isn't it? What's up with airlines? Okay, so you got hub cities, right? And you choose a hub and you choose a hub, and you think that it's a straight shot from one hub to the next hub, and it's not. I'm going from New Mexico to Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're talking northeast I'm traveling by way of Oakland, California. And that was the cheaper route. Let it be enough. Let it be enough. I'm going to get a lot of knitting done, and I'm very excited about that, because there are a few things better than isolated knitting time where I can't be distracted by the dog barking at the neighbor, or Honey needing help in the garage with his motorcycle, or the phone ringing, or email. I can just sit and knit. And if that means I got to fly to Oakland, California to get to Minneapolis, all right. What are these people doing? I don't understand. I'm sure that there are engineers that figured out that this is somehow cheaper. I just don't know their logic. So I was talking to you about the farmhouse shawl, and I was talking to you about the barn dance shawl. Both of those are efforts on my part to participate in my design along. The design along is on Ravelry. It's in my groups. You're welcome to join. The deadline for the design along is September 1st. You have a month. There's still time. Yes, you can double dip. If you're doing a design along or any other project where you're designing your own project for any other group, you're welcome to participate in my group as well. I don't have silly rules like that. My rules are simple. Please design it or make it a significant modification of something else. Make it your own. We have a chatter and questions thread where we can interact with each other, show off our work, and talk about how fabulous it is. We also have a finished objects thread, which is where we're going to be actually reviewing the projects and determining winners of prizes. Prizes are coming in, and I'm so excited by this. The generosity that I've experienced from you guys is amazing. Thank you. I don't have criteria yet for the prize system. I'm waiting for everything to get in. I'm going to bundle everything together into nice little nitty prizes and probably take some photos of that, show that off to you, inspire you. A little too late, likely. You were already inspired. You're artists in your own. Prizes. Who needs a prize? The end object is fake. No, you're all gonna, there's gonna be prizes. But I haven't determined criteria yet. And if you have suggestions, I think very, very likely I'm going to do a group favorite where I'm going to let everybody vote on what was submitted and have a popularity contest. And then I may have at least one random drawing of all the winners, of all the entries. Everybody's a winner, obviously. but I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, and it's really a matter of getting all the prizes together and seeing what we have and how many we have. Currently, we have, I took a note about this, 8 entries so far. Please go over and give them some love. Take a look at them. There's some gorgeous stuff over there. There's a cowl over there that I want because I always have a V-neck, and in the winter I get cold, and this cowl comes down longer in the front. It makes so much sense. I love it. And there's shawls, and they're beautiful. Every one of them is fantastic. I'm not saying anything. Don't read into this. I don't get to say, oh, that's the winner. We're all going to work on this. But there's great stuff over there. Go get them some love. Oh, what else have I got? I did say that's closing September 1st, so be clicking, folks. Plans. I already told you about my trip. Obviously, I'm ridiculously excited about that. That is a plan that is going to take some time away from us in September just because I'll be traveling. However, we have other things going on. So I have my Knit Together community mixer coming up. This is my Knit Pals, and registration opened today. Please pop on over to the group. I have links. There'll be links down below as well. Go fill out the Google form. You don't have to have a Google ID to do so. To register your intent. This is giving me a head count so I know how many skeins that I'm creating. It gives you an opportunity to tell me what your favorite color is so I don't make all green when everybody loves blue. It also gives you an opportunity to tell me exactly what contact information you want me to share with your Knit Pal, and you are in control of that. I don't give anybody's information out without express permission. What is this mixer? I'm blathering on about all the details, but I haven't told you what this is. The community mixer, the Knit Pals mixer is, I'm going to have 2 skeins of each colorway on a fingering weight base. You're getting a nice fat discount. You're getting a 30% discount off of my rates. You get to buy one of these skeins. Whoever buys the sister skein, the matching skein, you two are now friends. And I'm going to swap the information, the contact information that you have allowed me to swap with your partner. It's an introduction. It's an opportunity for you to meet another knitter, crocheter, crafter. Knit Pals is community knit together. It's not necessarily knit. You can be a crocheter. But it gives you an opportunity to meet somebody that you already have something in common with. Other than me and my podcast, you have a favorite color. You've chosen this because it spoke to you. And you guys get to interact. You guys get to meet each other. You could do whatever you want, whether you just exchange an email address and you say, hey, I bought this. What do you think of it? What are you going to do with it? Or if you both decide, hey, I was looking at this sock pattern. What do you think? Do you want to do a knit along with me? And we both work this sock pattern. It's entirely up to you. But it's a jumping off point for a new relationship where you have somebody that you've got a topic to discuss and you have information to share between you so that you can get to know each other a little bit. It's safe, it's fun, it's yarn, and it's community. You're welcome to join. I don't have any limits on this. If I have to dye 4,000 skeins of yarn, we're going to dye 4,000 skeins of yarn. Not a problem. Once the registration is open right now, I will have did I write down the closing date? I did not write down the closing date. I will insert the registration closing date here. We aim to ship yarns in early September. So I will have the registration complete. I will put the yarns up in the shop for you all to purchase. You each get to purchase 1 skein, and I will send it out with your partner's information in early September. It's going to come up kind of quick here, so watch the dates. Jump on over to the podcast group where the details are listed. Ask questions if you have any questions about it. If you have any suggestions about it, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be fun. I look forward to seeing how y'all interact with this and watching friendships bloom. That's cool. We also have See, I love what I do. We also have the Ornament Exchange. So I've decided this year that I'm going to host an Ornament Exchange. The root of it is you make 6 ornaments in whatever fiber-based craft that you want. Whether you knit, you crochet, whatever, as long as there's some yarn element attached to this. Ship 6 of them to me. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to assort them over the group. All the details are in the group. Go check out the group. It spells out exactly how I'm going to assort them, and you're all going to get 6 plus something back. $7 is your participation fee. That covers the shipping to get it all back to you. This year, unfortunately, I am opening it to the US only, just to get a handle on it, just to make sure that we've got this all ironed out so we can work the kinks out, and then hopefully, I'm aiming, guys, hopefully next year we're going to go worldwide with this. Some people already have their ornaments done. Some people are still sorting out what they're going to do. I think I have to go through Oakland twice. I think I'm going to get my ornaments done on the airplane. But I'm very excited about the Ornament Exchange. We have 12 people registered already. There's still plenty of time to register. Pop on over and do that. I believe registration is closing September 1st. I want to give everybody time to do it. I know it's really early to be talking about Christmas ornaments, but we got to organize things, folks. Was it September 1st? That doesn't seem quite right. Please, I will insert details here. Check it out and see if that might work for you. I would love to have you along. Again, it's another community mixer of sorts, and it's an opportunity to have some surprise joy in the holiday season. Love to do that. Whew, I have been running my mouth. So, anybody spot the beautiful yarn next to me? I love this. I love this. This week is my Patreon drawing week. I'm very excited about that as usual. This is the exclusive colorway of the month. This is, I gotta make sure I can read my own label, Cherry Cola Twist. This is on my Marsh Monkey base. It's a 75% superwash merino, a 25% nylon. It is a 2-ply twist, so it's a high texture. It gives great stitch definition. 100 grams, 464 yards, hand wash, air dry, Cherry Cola Twist. It has some lovely browns. It has some lovely rusts. It has this lovely dark cherry color in it, as well as creams. I just adore this colorway. It is exclusive to my Patreons. What is Patreon? Patreon is your way to help support what I do here. Patreon is a financial support system in which for your donation every month, I make sure you get something back. Several of the levels are drawing levels in which I randomly draw from the participants at that level, and somebody gets a prize. Those levels are very small populations, so often you have a 25% chance of winning something. There is a level as low as $1 a month. You can choose to donate 1 month and choose never to donate again. You can choose to just let it ride and donate every month. What am I doing with those funds? Those funds improve my lighting. Those funds improve my sound. Those funds go towards developing whole-length classes, project-based classes that will be available to my Patreons. Those funds go to making what I do better for you, and I am so grateful for them. They mean everything to me, and I put right back into the system and make sure that I'm honoring your donations to me. This month is a drawing, this episode is a drawing episode. Everybody at my subscription level receives 1 skein of this yarn. It is a big benefit level. For the subscription level patrons, not only do you get a skein of yarn, but you get a 25% coupon off of everything in my shop. 25% off. That's better than a sock month club. Check out my Patreon page, look at the details, and see if a level there might be good for you. I need to do some random drawings. So I'm going to pull out the handy dandy smartphone and pull up random.org, and we're going to draw for each level as soon as I can get this thing to work for me. Random.org. All right. At my benefactor level, one random benefactor receives a special knitting gift inclusive of yarn, pattern, and more. I have 4 people at that level, so I'm going to type in 1 to 4, and I'm going to hit generate. And the winner this time is number 2, Chris. I gotta make sure I have a pen so I can circle your name. Chris, I've got yarn coming out to you. At my partner level, again, I have 4 participants. This level receives a skein of Dye Monkey yarns of their choice and a pattern of their choice. This again is 1 through 4, so I'm just gonna hit generate again. Number 1 is the winner. Number 1 is Charlotte. All right. I love that you guys get to get stuff every month. At my contributor level, 1 random drawing winner receives a skein of yarn and receives a skein of hand-dyed yarn. I have 7 people at that level, so we're going to change this out to 7, and we're going to hit generate. Winner number is 5. 5 is Bente. Bente, I don't think you've ever won before. Yes. Very exciting. So I have those yarns going out to you guys. I will be in touch with everyone who has options to let you know that you get to choose. If you see this before I reach you, feel free to send me an email. It was me. And we'll sort you out as quickly as possible and get yarn out to you. I love this. This is the highlight of my week. This is the highlight of my business. This is everything. Being able to sit down and interact with you guys every week, mostly every week, and the feedback that I get from you guys, the support that I get from you means everything. Whether you're going through tough times in your life and something I say provides you the support that you need, or you're like me and you have an overuse injury and you're still doing physical therapy. I dyed yarn yesterday for 7 hours and my shoulder is just a-screaming. I'm carrying pots at shoulder level. I'm pulling yarn up out of water. I'm dragging stuff around. I'm bending down. I'm putting trays in the oven. I know better. I know better. I know that I should not be doing that for 7 hours in a kitchen with an oven running at 225 degrees in 108 degree weather. I know better, but I love what I do and I'm passionate about what I do and I'm going to do what I'm going to do and I'm going to worry about resting and worry about not hurting when I'm dead. But I'm also going to remember to take care of myself and do my PT. And if you're one of those people that's suffering, if you have pain from fibromyalgia, if you have pain from an overuse injury, I am there with you. I support you every step of the way, and let your heart and your mind and your spirit heal at the same time as your body. Give yourself grace, give yourself respect, give yourself love. And thank you all for your kind words and your support. Many of you figured out that last week I didn't have an episode because I put my dog down. That was hard. That was hard. And I'm very grateful to all of you for giving me the space and allowing me to do that. For the few of you who did sort that out and sent me very nice messages, thank you. I do not expect condolence messages. Thank you. You are not required to send me condolence messages. In fact, I will simply sense your sympathy. It's very hard sometimes to read message after message after message of, oh, I'm so sorry, and oh, I've been through it. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, and I appreciate the love that you guys give. But losing anybody, whether you've lost parents or siblings or children or pets, it's a hard time. And if you haven't lost somebody, how do I say this? If you haven't lost somebody, the person who has lost somebody that you want desperately to take their pain away from, that you want desperately to give love to, sometimes simply being there is everything that we need. And sometimes saying stuff, even if it's sympathy, even if it's supportive, even if it's condolence, can just remind us of the hurt. That sounds selfish. That sounds selfish. But I think if you've ever been through a loss, you know that it's not that you're trying to forget the hurt. It's that you just don't need to keep ripping the Band-Aid off. Wow, wow. Your love, your distant love, is enough for me. It's simple. And just a, hi Jess, I've been through it, I'm here for you, is plenty. Thank you very, very much. Certainly if you are in pain and you do wish to share your story, I'm here for you all the way. You got it. And you're welcome to share with me, but don't feel that you need to send me condolence messages. Is that creepy? Is that weird? I hope not. I hope that you understand that I'm speaking from my heart, and I'm just grateful to have you, and I'm grateful you keep coming back, and I'm looking forward to next week. So, go register. Go register for the Knit Pals. Go register for the Ornament Exchange. I'm so excited about these things, and let's see what we can do together. I love you guys. Have a great week. Be kind to yourself, and let it be enough. Bye.